my name is Jaylyn, and today I'm going to be talking about Cinder by Marissa Myers. So the quote that I chose today is, "That moment when you finish a book, look around and realize that everyone is just carrying on with their lives, as though you didn't just experience emotional trauma in the hands of a paperback." So if you guys haven't read Cinder by Marissa Myers, what it basically is it's a retelling of Cinderella, and the girl's name is Cinder, obviously. She's considered a technological mistake, but she's a cyborg, and she is 16 years old, and she's living in a city called Commonwealth in New Beijing, and it's kind of in the future where we're really technologically advanced for like the cyborgs and stuff. And so when the prince of New Beijing needs his android fixed, he goes to Cinder because she is the best mechanic all around. And so that is when she meets the prince, and it kind of starts the whole Cinderella story. So her only human friend is her stepsister, Fiona. So Fiona has caught the plague, and they do not have a cure for it. So she is most likely to die, which is super sad. After Fiona catches the plague and goes to quarantine, her stepmother signs her up for plague research where they're only taking cyborgs. And as she goes in for the research, that is when she finds out more about her past and what happened to her, and just a lot of stuff, interesting stuff. So if you haven't read it, bye for now, and when you do read it, come back and we can talk about it some more. The first thing that I'm going to start out by talking about is the plague. I was so frustrated with the plague, like the whole time. Like, it just irritated me so bad. Like, why can't they find the cure? It made me so mad. But I also see like where they're coming from. Like, the plague was a really important part because that is what is kind of pushing them to Luna and Lavanna because of it, because they have the cure. And so the plague has also killed the Emperor and the Empress, Kai's parents, and so you kind of feel bad for him because he's all on his own. He's trying to rule this empire, and you just feel super bad for him because his parents have both died from this plague, and he's trying to find the cure, and you just feel really bad for him. You could kind of just tell, like, he wanted the cure so bad to save his dad. So bad. Oh, he was just so determined. The plague, still on the plague. So Fiona catches the plague in the junkyard, and you feel so bad for Cinder because she's like blaming herself, and I was just like, no, don't blame yourself. She was probably gonna get it anyways, and you can't blame yourself, please. But so she catches the plague, and she's taken to quarantine, and Cinder is just distraught over it because that was her only human friend, and she was just so sad that she was most likely going to die. I really hated the part when Fiona died because it was so sad. It was so heartbreaking because she was right there with the cure in her hands, and she died and she had to save someone else. But I do like when she beats up the robot to get her ID. I thought that was pretty great. The next thing that I really liked was Cinder's backstory. It was super creative, and you didn't get to hear a lot about it, but it was super creative. Like, you could just tell. The story is that she got crushed under the hover car, but she can't remember anything before it. It's almost like she got really bad head trauma, and she can't remember, and she just forgot, like amnesia. And so that resulted in her being a cyborg because her leg and her arm were just so crushed, and you could tell that she really believed that story. She really thought that that was what happened. She really believed in it. Like, people weren't lying to her about it, but I really liked it. It was super creative, especially for a backstory, one that wasn't true. But I love the real story even more, which was she is Princess Celine, and I was so excited to find that out. When Dr. Erlin told her that she was Lunar, I was like, she's the princess. She's the princess. I was kind of already guessing. You didn't find out about Princess Celine for a while into the book. Like, you got little snippets, but like you didn't like hear what actually happened. But I was kind of thinking like well, that's for either her or like she's gonna help that person or something. But as soon as he told her that she was Lunar, I was like, that's so her. That's so her. I don't know why I didn't see it sooner, but I was kind of caught up in the story to really realize that. Cinder being Lunar in the first place. So I wasn't that shocked when I found out. I kind of saw it coming just a little bit. It wasn't like I knew the end of the story. I really don't like it when I read those kind of books because I just feel like there's no need to read them because I already know. But I really liked how she found out. Queen Lavanna. So her story is that she killed her sister and her brother-in-law, I think, and Cinder, or Princess Selene. So she killed them because she was power hungry and she wanted the throne, and she wouldn't get it because if it was her sister, it would have passed down on to her daughter. So she would have just, what would she even have been, a princess? I don't know. But so she wouldn't have gotten the throne if she didn't kill her sister and the daughter, and the husband. And so she killed them all, and that's really all you find out about it. You don't really find out anything else. It's kind of they're kind of closed-mouthed about it. Like, they don't really know exactly what happens to, like, what went on with her, but I'm really excited to find out more about what went on in her brain when she was killing everyone. Okay, so Lunars. I was really curious about them because they live on the moon, and I wanted to know, like, what do they look like? Like, do they look exactly like us, or is that just like their glamours that I will talk about in a second? And I was really curious about them the whole time. I really wanted to find out more about them. So basically what you find out in this book is that the Lunars look like everyone else. They can glamour people, so they can make people see things that aren't really there. So it's kind of like glamoring, and so they can make themselves look more pretty, and they can make things that aren't there appear that they are, and just make people believe things that aren't really there. And so that's really kind of what you find out about their powers. You don't find out a ton in this book because Cinder's kind of shielded from it, and it's from her point of view, so you don't find out a ton about it, but I really liked finding out about them. I thought it was so fun and so cool, and so I really liked that. Luna has been threatening war on the world for such a long time, especially New Beijing, and because she wants to marry Kai, which I first thought was like, ew, like, she sounds so old. Like, she does. Like, she sounds like she's like 40, and Kai's like 18, and that really grossed me out for like the longest time. Like, I couldn't get over it. I was like, ugh, please don't. No, please. Ugh, gross. But I kind of got over it. I still don't want them to get married, obviously, because I want Kai and Cinder to get married, duh, forever. But I really liked the story. What you find out later on in the book is that Cinder's powers, lunar powers, are being blocked. So her stepdad, when she got turned into a cyborg, he put a chip on her back that like blocked all of her powers from being exposed and being able to be used. And so that's one of the reasons why she didn't know she was lunar, and other people didn't know she was lunar, because you kind of go crazy if you don't use your lunar powers also. So, Prince Kai, or Emperor Kai, whatever one you want, he's both in this book. He's looking for Princess Selene, and he and his android are both looking through all the details and everything that they left when she came to Earth. Well, they think she came to Earth, and he's really trying to find her so she can overthrow Queen Lavanna. And I thought that was super interesting. You kind of found out a lot about what happened to Princess Selene when the android turned back on, and I thought that was super cool because I was wondering about her the whole time. Like, it was always there on my mind. So I was really happy when we got to find out more. So Dr. Erlin is the doctor that brings in all the cyborg patients and tests them for plague research and decides whether or not they could be of help or not. And so I thought he was a really good character. He was a super strong character, and I really liked him. I loved at the end when you found out that he was looking for Princess Selene too. I just thought that was so cool, and I thought that was really crazy that whole cyborg thing was set up for her. Cinder's stepfamily. I hated them. Well, besides Fiona, but you couldn't really hate her. She wasn't there that long, but what you did see of her, you really loved. She was just so nice and sweet to Cinder, which was so refreshing from the original Cinderella story where they're both me too. I thought it was something really new, and I really liked it. So her other sister, Pearl, she is so snobby, and I don't like her. She just thinks she is better than everyone, and she is not. She's not. Ugh, I don't like her. She irritates me so bad. Ugh. And then her stepmom. Oh my gosh. She gets on my nerves so bad. so bad. She is just so annoying. The worst part, I'm not kidding, the part that I hated the very, very most. After Cinder buys her new foot and puts it on, and she has her little 11-year-old foot that she got when she was first turned into a cyborg. And she gets home after she gets Fione's ID chip, and her stepmom, Audrey, makes her give her the foot because she stole from her. No! Ugh, it irritated me so bad. I was so mad. I had to put the book down. I was like, no. Because she says that she is stealing from her, but she doesn't. Audrey doesn't even make the money. Cinder does, and it irritated me so bad that she acted like she made all this money when she didn't. And it pissed me off so bad. I wanted to punch her so hard. And I was like, don't give her the foot, Cinder. Ugh! No! She pissed me off. Prince Kai has invited Cinder to the ball to be his personal guest. She's gonna run away that night. Thank goodness. Hallelujah. Finally get away from all those people that just disrespect her and hate her. And I was so happy for her about that. She's finally gonna make a move. I was so proud. Then the hacker. Oh, she had to come and tell her. She had to tell her all that crap that kept her from leaving and going to the ball to rescue Kai. I was so mad. And so she basically says, the hacker, she says to Cinder, you can't let Kai marry Queen Lavanna because she's going to kill him and take over the world. So, of course, Cinder had to go tell Kai that. I'm pretty sure he might have already knew that, but she had to go tell him. And I love the end of this book. Just the ball in general. It was just awesome. And so she goes in that car that she's fixed up. And I can picture it in my mind. And it's not a pretty picture. It's like one of those really old cars that are so beat up and all the paint is peeled away and it barely works. And I can totally imagine it in my brain, and it was not a good image. I was just like, please don't drive that to the ball, please. So she crashes her car. Like, she crashes it because the brakes aren't working. I was so mad. And then it is raining. Like, it is pouring. And she walks out and she gets to the front of the castle and she's just dripping wet. She's sopping. Like, she's just wringing her hair out over here because she's so wet. I was like, please don't go in there like that, please. That was not a good image for you or for Kai. Send someone to go get him so he can come to you. Okay, so she gets there and she gets introduced to everyone, which I thought was super funny because she's like dripping wet and she's getting introduced to everyone at the ball. And like, Kai's personal guest. And she's dripping wet. Awesome. So she gets to Kai and she tells him what the hacker told him. I love the part where she's like, maybe she won't marry you if you're in love with me. I loved when they kissed though. I was so happy. I was just like, yeah, finally, thank you. I hate at the end when Kai finds out that she's a cyborg, like just the look on his face, oh, crushed me. I was like, please, no, please understand. Don't be like that. I was so mad, but I was also kind of relieved too because Cinder didn't get hurt really bad from Queen Lavanna. And like, I love the part when her powers just explode. Like, they basically just explode everywhere. And she's got like that glamour on and Kai is just like blown away by how pretty she looks with her glamour on. And I thought that was just awesome. I just hate the part when Kai, well, it's not really Kai's fault. I can't blame Kai because one, he's not in love with her, and two, it's Cinder or the whole country, and you can't be selfish. He can't be selfish. He just can't. Like, that is part of his job, is to not be selfish. And so he sends Cinder to jail to be taken back up to Luna. And I was just so sad. I was like, please help her escape. Please, Kai, please. But as she's in jail with Dr. Erling giving her the new foot and hand and telling her that she's Princess Celine, I was just so happy because I knew that she was going to break out and meet him in Africa. And so I knew that that was such a good setup for the next book, which I was so glad that I had to read because it was so good. But I was so glad that I had it to read right after that one and Cress. I can't wait for the fourth book to come out. I'm so excited. So those are my thoughts on Cinder, guys. I thought it was such a good book. I thought everything just went together and I really loved her writing style. I just thought it was such a good book overall and I was so glad to read. Whew. and I was just so excited to read Scarlet. See you guys later. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye, guys.